The camera started on its own, so whatever. But I think it's time for oracle read. So we have the card here, Antique Hana. It's a number 33, and it is the child of the light. Okay, I thought I grabbed the book. I didn't, but I went straight to it, ironically, because I was just looking for it. But it says, there is a divine light that does not cast a shadow, nor does it cast judgment, even though it reveals truth. A truth that is sometimes hard to acknowledge and requires that we change our ways. True divine light is healing. It is unifying. It brings hope and illumines the way. Other sorts of light exist on this planet that are not so pure or helpful. These sorts of light may appear stunningly bright, yet in effect create separation and increase ego. You can recognize genuine divine presence not by how dazzling it may appear at first, but by what your devotion to that light evokes in your heart and your world. It says, inner reading. Trust your feelings over appearances. Trust your feeling over appearances. Move away from influences that create fear, negativity, or doubt in you. Reach out for that which uplifts your heart. Spiritual protection is being offered. Refuse to be dazzled by ego masquerading as something spiritual. So you may be dealing with someone that is more ego than spiritual, and you need someone that's more spiritual at this time. It's been a lot of talk of release and letting go, shifting. So through your prayers and efforts, spiritual light has been accumulating on the inner planes. Even though you may not sense that consciously as yet, there will be an intersection of events and circumstances in your physical world through which that light shall pour forth and manifest itself as grace. Continue with your spiritual devotion. There is something truly good to come of it. Spiritual guidance. In the Incan, I-N-C-A-N tradition, in the Incan tradition, Inti is the physical sun and the spiritual presence inherent in the sun's life-giving energy. Intigana is the being who is one with Inti, the child of the sun. In the esoteric mystery schools, solar child and solar angel are terms for the soul, the deeper aspect of us that is connected to the spiritual light. This oracle brings you understanding that there is new depth of soul connection opening up for you. We enter such a sacred process through a challenge known in spiritual traditions as initiation. Interesting. When we are faced with a deep unknowing, which is what happens when we are growing spiritually and moving through a spiritual initiation, we have outgrown what our minds are capable of providing. We need more knowledge, more wisdom, more light, so that we can find our way through the darkness of initiation and into the blessing of new life waiting on the other side of the process. When we turn our attention to the soul, instead of applying logic and intellect to figure out yet another doomed plan to conquer the irrepressible evolution inherent in the spiritual path, we finally gain comfort. Again, when we turn our attention to the soul, Instead of trying to push, we gain comfort. So we need to turn our attention to the soul. Hope is a quality of the soul. It allows us to bear the uncertainty when, according to greater wisdom, there is something we cannot know the answer to, at least for now. Hope gives us patience so that we can learn how to feel our connection more deeply and grow into the wisdom of the answers we need. We stop fumbling about in the library of the intellect and instead seek out the answer from the source that can provide it, which is the illumined temple of our own soul. Initiation often involves an element of the unexpected. We typically feel unprepared for it, even though at a soul level we have been working towards it for a long time. If it's happening, however, then we are actually ready for it. Such spiritual testing is intimidating to the ego, but the soul knows how to move through the process. Trust your inner self and trust in the light and the unconditionally supportive assistance that the universe will lend to your purpose. Then you can be fearless, impervious to manipulation, and remain steady and faithful in the face of challenge. The solar festival of Inti was a celebration of new life, which was held at the start of a new planting season. It is realistic to cultivate hope and cheerfulness, both in which nurture the heart, especially during initiation. This oracle foretells of a positive conclusion of any initiation of soul. If you or a loved one have been plagued by dark and depressing thoughts, this oracle brings a spiritual intervention of joyful light. Open up to the joyful light of love and peace to fill your heart and your home. You have the power to call this in because you are acknowledged as a child of the light. Rest in the divine light within, imagining that you can peer into your soul and be warmed by the light and life of the inner sun that shines within your soul, which is the true light of Great Spirit. From that place of inner peace, luminous love, and safe refuge, you can proceed with boldness, patience, wisdom, and hope. The oracle asks you to cultivate a sense of self-worth and acknowledge the goodness within you without needing to be perfect. You don't have light within you. You are the light. Remember, shine. We need you. The healing process. When you're ready, say the following invocation aloud. I affirm the light within me. I call for the true light of the divine to shine bright and clear, showing the way on earth. I am the light, and the light is within me. I trust my soul and the spiritual light within that guides me always. May the light in all hearts be stirred into awakening with unconditional love, grace, and mercy. So be it. It says you are encouraged to complete and ground this process with any light affirming joyful movements such as dancing, meditating, holding hands in prayer, opening your arms to the sky, or simply meditating on the light within for as long as you wish. You may wish to sing or journal, say further prayers, or create some art. Be with whatever affirms the light within you. In this moment, you have completed your healing process. So I'm going to say it aloud one more time. I affirm the light within me. I call for the true light of the divine to shine bright and clear, showing the way on earth. I am the light, and the light is within me. I trust my soul in the spiritual light within that guides me always. May the light in all hearts be stirred into awakening with unconditional love, grace, and mercy. So be it. Alright, so that is the message, the oracle message of Intikana. It really did, in my opinion, confirm all of the previous reads that we've had up until this point. So I don't really feel like there's a need to pull any other cards. We'll let that stand on its own. Excuse me. Hope that was confirmation for you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I love you all. And until next time.